Indian athletes are not only making us proud at the Commonwealth Games, but they are also shining at the Under-20 World Athletic Championship. Rupal Chaudhary has bagged the bronze medal at the 400-meter sprint event. The Uttar Pradesh-born athlete finished the race in 51.85 seconds. Hello and welcome to our special show. This is Hardik Agrawal and I have with me News 9 sports editor Sundeep Misra. Sundeep, we were talking about Rupal in our yesterday's show. We were not expecting her to get on the podium, but she has done it.
Yeah, the reason, was when you're going to be racing 3 to 4 400-meter races, and which I include the relay ones in that, and then it's not only the physical part of it, it's also competing at that level.
Right.
Competing at that level, looking at the lineups and feeling whether I can fit in there and how do I run it and all of that. But if you just purely look at the timings, even the athlete who's won that, even she was 11th when you look at the rankings.
Okay.
So, it's probably a surprise when you look at the gold medal winner. She's become the first British athlete to win a 400 at the U20. And then Rupal sneaking in. But honestly, if you've also seen the race, she was leading at the halfway stage.
Initially,
but in a 400, leading at a halfway stage really doesn't mean much. But then it actually, by the end of it, the finish that we saw was not great simply because I think they were tired legs. But for her to come onto the podium is a huge thing because she's improved over 1 second, 2 seconds. She's done a personal best twice over in this U20 World Championships. And that becomes a very big thing for an athlete going into the senior category. Once she's crossed the U20, U21 and when she hits 22, then it becomes something that this becomes an inspiration for you to really go and do well out there.
Sundeep, her coach advised her to, in the last 120 meters, run fast, make bigger strides, but she couldn't do that today, right? She was faster initially, then her pace went down. So if she would have done that, could she have grabbed the silver or even gold?
I think it just depends on the finish. Strides is one thing. Strides is part of the 400 circuit that you do. They calculate, they do everything. Every quarter of the track is going to be calculated by the coaches and the athlete. But I think it also depends on how the athlete who's behind you, when you are leading at the halfway stage, how much of gas they have left. This is a final. They've been running through the week, and now at the final you could see she just didn't have the kick in her. That's when the British athlete really took over and she finished so brilliantly. I think it's not the coach and the athlete. I think it's how much of strength you have left and how much of race acumen you have to figure out who's going to be first, second, third. And I think the miscalculations, or you can't even call it a miscalculations at the U20 level. Nobody knew that this will be the 1, 2, 3 lineup. Everybody thought it would be something else.
Something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also her burning desire, Sundeep. I read a story where she went on a hunger strike just to convince her father to get into athletics, to become a professional athlete. So that's the burning desire you require to, achieve this kind of feat.
That's the reason she's in Colombia today. But if you see stride length, if you see the way her arms move and everything, one doesn't know how she was running at the age of 10, 12, 15 or whether she was scouted at that age or not. Maybe later when she came into the sub-junior, all of that. She did a pretty decent run at the interstate juniors where she's actually beaten Priyam, to come on and get selected for this. So if you look at the patterns, if you look at her style of running, if you look at the way she actually goes on the track, she is a natural. Her style shows she's a natural. She has a very easy way around her. She has a very smooth stride. She has a very good normal arm's length that she keeps running up and down like a piston. So she's very smooth. Everything points towards a very good senior run-up that's going to be coming up to her in another couple of years.
And her inspiration, Hima Das, she won a gold medal back in 2018 in the same event, but now she's not performing in 400 meter, but she acted as a catalyst. Do you think that Hima Das acted as a catalyst in 400 meter or sprint for women's particularly?
Hima acted as a catalyst for a lot of athletes who saw her run that 400. In fact, it's one of the most watched videos in Indian athletics.
Right.
And I mean, the more you really, honestly, and if you really want to be inspired by a good run, I mean, even I have watched it so many times that you actually feel that, you know, this is brilliant. And the commentator just went crazy just watching an Indian suddenly from nowhere come and win that. Why she doesn't run the 400 now is probably something that the coaches have taken, that maybe she can do the 100 and the 200 better, or maybe the half bend probably suits her rather than the full 400. In the middle somewhere she had some back problems, which happened at Doha during the Asian Athletic Championships, which she fell on the track and they had to virtually take her away, and then she had some rehab for almost a year. So maybe that is the reason why she shifted. But yeah, I mean, not only Rupal, I think a lot of athletes saw that run and really wanted to do as good as Hima does, and well, we hope in the Commonwealth she gets into the final. So.
Certainly, and with Rupal's victory also, we can't, you know, ignore the kind of strides the Asian athletes are making in the athletic scene. There were, like, including the day 5, which is supposed to take place now, there are total 27 athletes in the finals now. So what does this say about the athletic scene here in Asia?
I think a lot of Europeans used to be there, a lot of Africans came in, and then the Caribbeans really dominated from the sprinting up till almost middle distance, not so much in the long. The longs are usually dominated and will always be dominated by Kenya, Ethiopia, you know, all. But this is a short sign of increased infrastructure, increased financial spends. But more than that, this is also a very good sign that the scouting is happening very nicely. You know, earlier it used to be, okay, fine, I mean, if you saw somebody run, okay, fine, put them on. But now they're actually getting into data, they're getting into analytics, they're trying to figure out how much of a stride length matters in terms of everybody. I mean, you look at the long jumpers, long legs, you know, it's good for the takeoff, it's good for propulsion, it's good for moment you land, you can throw your body forward. All of this earlier used to be there, but they used to be in more advanced countries. But with Asia now coming so rapidly in, they are going to dominate. But there's one area that Japan and everybody easily dominate is the 5,000 and the 10,000 and the marathon. For some reason, they have always been very good at that. I think that's the point also you made, that the 5,000 has 2 Japanese women running there. So, but it's a great sign. It's a great sign also for India, because at least we will have some form of competition to live up to. Listen, Indians can't keep traveling to America, can't keep traveling to Europe. It's
right.
For a lot of juniors, it's a difficult exercise. But if we get these Asian nations into traveling towards us, I think that will be good competition for them.
And also the younger generation, which is able to achieve all this at this age, do you think that internet has played a crucial role? They are learning from internet, like they are watching videos of players in Europe or America and they are learning from that?
Well, Olympics gold medalists in javelins are watching YouTube and winning gold medals. But yeah, I think it's more of a, I mean, they say it because it's part of the process. But honestly, I can't bring my head around to figure out that how are you going to look at a YouTube and then go and become Olympic champion?
That's not possible, but a certain inspiration kind of.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a step forward. It's a step, because sometimes you look at it. I mean, you have it in all sport. People look at great batsmen and figure out how to technically, you know, be a correct, you know, on the pitch. But yeah, I mean, I can give you a lot of examples in 5,000 and the 10,000. I mean, I think a lot of people actually watched in the early 80s and even later on, but those were mostly films. It's only when the internet came in that you actually started realizing that this is an access that we have. I think it's wonderful to have that.
Right. And also, Sundeep, the race which caught everyone's eyes was the 100-meter men's sprint. It was certainly a photo finish. Tebogo losing to Afrifa by 6,000th of a second. I just can't believe how one can even differentiate such an acute margin.
Earlier there used to be, you know, the photo finishes. Technology has improved, but at the same time you also have to admit that racing has improved. I mean, it's so close. One actually thought that Tebogo one might even take it. I think even Blessing, I think Blessings is also his name, the guy who actually won it. He actually thought he was coming in second, and he said, "This is great. I mean, like, you know, I'm second to him, and this is fantastic," because I think he was 6th or 7th at the last World Championship.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, for Tobago, I think the big factor was running too many races. That was
in the last 4 to 5 days.
In the last 4-5 days, he's just run too much, and you can see it because he's not looking towards his right, he's not looking to his left, and he's slowed down without, and he's looking forward, which is a sure sign of somebody whose mind is fading off. And but for a lot of junior athletics, for a lot of U20, this is the best advertisement you can have. I mean, shaving off 1,000th of a second. I mean, I can't get it.
There's 2 more days left at the Under-20 World Athletic Championship. India's 2 athletes have qualified for the finals, which will take place at 3:25 a.m. tomorrow morning. Selva in the triple jump event and Vivek in the javelin throw men's event. Let's see what they have to offer tomorrow. That's it from this special. Thank you so much, Sundeep.
Thanks.
We'll be back tomorrow with more interesting news, insights, facts and figures from the Under-20 World Athletic Championship. Until then, keep watching News 9. Like, share and subscribe to stay updated with the world of sports. This is Hardik Agrawal signing off.